What's up guys, Beebags here. This video I'm going to be giving you my best tips for increasing your KD, dying less, and becoming a better player at Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So tip number one is always use Ghost and Dead Silence. The reason for this is basically to reduce our presence on the map. Giving away your position through UAVs or your footsteps is a big disadvantage, and a lot of people using headsets will be able to pick up on that. These two perks are unlocked sort of later in the leveling, so if you're planning to run through the prestiges, maybe get to master, I would definitely be using the permanent unlocks. My very first two unlocks were Ghost and Dead Silence. Critical. Moving on to Scorestreaks, we must be using UAV. It is seriously essential. It's easy to get. You know, it's very short little streak to get that, and it helps you and the team out big time. Counter UAV as well. I always run UAV, counter UAV, and H.A.T.R when I have them unlocked. If you're good enough to actually get a H.A.T.R consistently, then use it. It's an awesome streak. Basically, it's a huge advantage knowing exactly where they are, which way they're facing. So whilst we're on the topic of knowing where they are, we want to be using the map all the time. You want to make it a habit, if it's not already, of glancing up to the top left of the screen, you know, every 3 or 4 seconds, just keeping a watch on it, seeing where the little red dots pop up, taking note of where the skulls also are, where your teammates have just been killed. Teammate positioning is important too. Often you can sort of guess where the enemy's going to be based on where your team are. Often they're on the opposite side of the map. You know, sometimes you'll find a guy just pop out of nowhere. You know, he's been running around with a knife or something like that, but most often you'll find that where your teammates are, the enemies are not. So next tip is to reduce your presence on the map as much as possible. And what I mean by this is basically use a silencer, and I already mentioned the perks, Ghost and Dead Silence, but using a silencer is a great thing because you don't pop up when you fire. You don't give away where your position is, which leads into the next tip, which is the actual position that you choose to operate on the map. Basically, you always want to be on the edges of the map, running around the outer rim. There's a few reasons for this. One is because there's less places you can get shot from. You don't really have to watch one whole side of you. You can focus on what's in front and sort of, you know, to one side. So there's less areas that you can be killed from. If you notice in the clip, see what I'm doing, I'm not really going into the center. I mean, it is domination, so it's probably not the best teamwork there, not going for B, but my team had that pretty much covered. So I was just moving around the spawn, jumping up onto the aircon vents and around the edges into where the temple is. So yeah, just moving around the edges, moving between the spawn and the mid, and sort of coming out and picking them off in the mid. So that brings us to the next tip, which is about movement itself. You always want to be moving around. You know, after you get a kill, move around, get out of that room, move to the next place. That increases the chance that you'll catch it by surprise again. If you stay in the exact same place, you know, how many times has it been that you kill someone and they come straight back for vengeance? I know at least I do. If someone kills me and they're just sitting somewhere, I'm like, oh man, this guy. And you basically make it your mission to hunt them down. So the last tip for you guys is to pre-aim around corners. If you are already aiming down sight, then that's a big advantage. You'll often get first shot, and most often, not always, but most often, first shot wins. Oh, and something else about first shot. If I don't get first shot, just say that we're fighting at a bit of a distance, a bit of a range, and I get tagged before I hit them, I don't even contest. I just pull back and try and find a different angle, or wait for my health to come back up. Certainly don't contest when you're half red. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope these tips help.